It is about 3:35 on a Friday afternoon, and I'm gonna shut things down for the day and for a couple of days in just about 20 minutes. But I wanted to share with you, as the title suggests, 5 things that inspire me. Here's why I wanted to share that today. As we've gone through this year, a lot of the year has been crazy for a lot of people, and you've felt like you are under the gun, or you are just it's chaotic, it's confusing, it's uncertain. And as someone who owns a business, as someone who is in the training world, the training industry, the coaching world, I come across a lot of people who feel uninspired, who feel let down by this year 2020, right? They feel let down by the year. And the thing about that for me is that 2020 is, yeah, it's the year that it is, but we've had challenging years before, and we really want to just kind of keep things in perspective. And so it's hard to do that if you don't have anything internally that inspires you, or anything that internally pushes you forward, or helps you keep going. So when you have a down moment, when you have those moments that depress you, when you have those moments where things aren't going as expected, what do you do to inspire yourself? How do you press forward? What do you lean on? If any of you have any thoughts or comments on that, go ahead and share that with me in the chat. Hold on one second. My screen is out of sorts here, so I can't see your comments. Yeah, if you have any thoughts on that, go ahead and share that with me in the chat. How do you keep yourself going? What inspires you? What causes you to keep moving forward? What causes you to keep moving forward? I just wanted to share with you the 5 things, or 5 of the things that really help me to keep moving forward, that inspire me. Because you got to have something in front of you. You got to have something that resonates with you, right? And so here's number one thing. I'm not even going to type it. Actually, let me do that. I'm going to put this on screen really quickly. The number one thing that inspires me is this. Hold on. Right? The number one thing that inspires me is this: family. Family is the number one thing that inspires me. And here's why it inspires me. I'm just amazed at the different stages that my kids go through. Right? Whenever I'm having a bad or a down moment, and kind of look at my kids, I look at my daughter, who's just got her driver's license and she's kind of trucking about the place. I look at my son, who is, shh, don't tell him I told you this. He's been, over the last few weeks, asking me to help him pick out parts because he wants to build a computer. He wants to build a computer for gaming, but he didn't ask if he could buy one. He asked if he could build one, right? So, yeah, hey John, how you doing? Yeah, so he asked me if he could build one. So we're in the process of going through. He just got some of his parts that came in, so he's super excited about this. And for me, as I look at my kids, and as I look at how they are growing, and how they process things and the stages that they're going through, that's the number one thing that inspires me. That's number one thing that inspires me. So let me keep going. I don't want to stay on this. I don't want to stay on here too long. The number two thing that inspires me, and I hope you can vibe with me on this. Let me see if I can type this in really quickly, right? The number two thing that inspires me is, come on, colors. Come on, colors. There we go. All right, here we go. The number two thing that inspires me, I should have changed the number, huh? The number two things, and I didn't prepare for this, so just let me, forgive me for this, but it's okay. The number two thing that inspires me is other people's wins. Other people's wins. One of the things that happens is, and I'm glad John is on. John just, he and his wife April, they do this great podcast. And they did a live stream podcast the other day, and they were trying some things out with regard to live streaming. And when I saw what they were doing, and kind of what they had put together as a result of some conversations that we'd had in our challenge, our live stream confidence challenge last week, I was like, yes, right? I'm glad when other people put things to use, when I see people winning, and it doesn't even have to have anything to do with me. right? It has when I see people that are just doing something, right? When I see people that are in action, right? Those are the things that really inspire me. Sometimes people see people, they get a new car. One of the guys that a guy that I follow, a good, an inspiration for me, a guy that I kind of look at and model some things after. He posted on Facebook and Instagram that he'd gotten a new car, this new BMW, and he was kind of going through all the features. And here's what happens. Sometimes when people post things about good things that are happening in their lives, other people, they're jealous. They're haters. And here's what happens. They start saying things like, oh, hey, as Christians, couldn't we spend our money on other stuff? Shut up. Right? That's my thought. When somebody has something amazing happen in their lives, right? When somebody has any amazing thing happen in their lives, right? Be happy. Be happy. And when I see friends win, when I see clients win, when I see mentors win, when I see other people win, when I see them, especially when I know the work that it takes to get to a certain place, I'm like, yes, that inspires me. And so I see my friend post his BMW and he's super excited about the different features, etc. I'm like, yeah, that inspires me. I'm like, not that I necessarily want to or need to get that BMW, but I'm like, okay, yeah, that's I'm working, I'm pushing towards my next phase, my next stage, because I want to be an inspiration to somebody else as well, right? So thanks, John. I see you guys. You had the confidence to do it because of the challenge. Awesome, man. I appreciate you guys. All right. So the number three thing that inspires me is this. And we don't do enough of this. Right? The number three thing that inspires me is a good book. Right? A good book. And here's why that inspires me is because I'm learning something. Right? I go through, and sometimes you read a book and it's not necessarily mind-blowing, groundbreaking information, but you kind of see things put together in a certain way, and it's just timely. It's right on time. It comes and it helps you to understand or to maybe reframe your perspective on something, right? And so when I go through those moments, I just finished reading this book by Dan Henry called Digital Millionaire Secrets. Right. And so as I went through the book, I dog-eared some stuff. I folded some pages because I'm going to go back and literally walk through certain steps of building a digital empire, as it were, building, just really formalizing what I do online or in the digital workspace. Right. And so I get inspired because I'm like, okay, cool. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, great. Excellent. Boom. I've got these things that I can now add to my calendar. And yes, let me say that when you have something that inspires you, when you have something that you want to do, don't just put it off and say, I want to do that sometime. Literally find a space in your calendar and schedule it like you do a meeting. Schedule it. That's one of the things that I've become really intentional about. Scheduling things. If I see things, if I want to get something done, if I want to spend some time thinking about something, if I want to spend some time crafting or creating something, putting that in my calendar. I literally have thinking time scheduled in my calendar for certain things. I want to think about the outline for a speech that is upcoming. I want to think about a challenge or a new idea that I have. I put that in the calendar. Right. So Darian says Dan Henry is. Yeah, exactly. I love Dan Henry's stuff. Right. Somebody on LinkedIn is saying, call the haters out. Yeah. Be happy for people. Right. So really what you've got to be able to do is find some resources that inspire you or cause you to think differently or cause you to think in a new way or reframe or at least revisit maybe something that you thought before. Because doing those things, especially things that inspired you previously, now bring back that same energy, that feeling of, yeah, I've got to go at this thing again. So that's my number 3 thing that inspires me. So my number 4 thing that inspires me, and some of y'all are going to know this. The number 4 thing that inspires me is new technology. New technology. Listen, when I see new technology or new things happening, I get inspired. Every year Apple has this event, and it's kind of like this big deal where they release the iPhone or the new iPhone and the new devices or the new versions of things, and it's an exciting thing because I love seeing progression. I love seeing something that somebody ideated on come to life and really see how it affects or how it changes life in general, right? I absolutely love new technologies. When my friend was sharing the things with his BMW the other day, I was like, ooh, not because it was a BMW, but because there was this new technology, right? John's like iPhone 12, yeah, right? So there was this new stuff in his car, and one of the new things was literally there's like a credit card size thing that's the only thing that you have to have with you in order to start the car. Right, you don't have to have a key fob. You don't have to have any buttons. You don't have to have any keys. There's just like literally a card that you can start your car with and drive with. When I see Tesla's self-driving automobiles or modes, I get inspired. I'm like, wow, right? I see these things and that inspires me. That inspires me because I'm like, yeah. I'm not only inspired because it's new, I'm inspired because I always think about the thought process, the creative process it took to get to that place. And I'm always just wowed by those things. And so, listen, if you want to inspire yourself, find something new and see if you can break the process down. Imagine yourself in the space of that person, that creator that came up with that thing, right? And imagine what their mindset was, the challenges they went through, the moments, the ups and the downs that they went through in order to get to the place where they were able to create something that most of us haven't seen before. Right? That is an amazing, amazing process. So I get inspired. I literally get hyped when people have conversations about new things like that and new technology. I'm like, yeah, right? Because I just love that thing. So let me jump into my number 5. My number 5 thing that inspires me, and you guys are going to say, hey, how does this really fit in that list? My number 5 thing that inspires me is nice weather. Nice weather. But here's it. It's not just nice weather. It's weather that I take advantage of. So when I go outside, when the weather is awesome and I'm outside walking and I'm just taking in the weather. There's times where I've literally put aside. Okay, let me check what David's saying. David said he's inspired by the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Yes, David, that's your new technology, right? But I get inspired because great weather, when I'm walking, when I'm inside it, that's the time that I can be also creative. I'm by myself. I can think. And I just look sometimes at the clouds, and I look at the lawns and all of those things, and I'm like, man. And here's the thing: as a Christian, here's what I think. I'm like, I always wonder what God did or how He thought as he created some things, right? That's what goes through my mind. I'm like, why wasn't this a straight line? Why was that made wavy? Why did we have these organs put into our body? What my mind just begins to think about those things, and I smile and I'm inspired. I'm like, yes, I'm an amazing being. I was created awesomely, and there is greatness inside of me. I was created for greatness. I was built for greatness, right? Those are the things that I think about when I am in nice weather, right? And I just love great weather. Right, because it just does something like that to me. So I'm looking at I see Rod. Hey Rod, how you doing? Right? So you've got to be in a place. You've got to be in a place where you move outside of the challenges or the pain or the frustrations or the obstacles that permeate your week, that permeate your day, that permeate your month. You've got to have things that you recognize that inspire you. And if you are able to formalize or identify those things, then when you have those moments, that cause you to be a little bit frustrated or down, you can hold on to some of those things to grab even a little bit of the inspiration, even a little bit of the motivation. It's kind of like getting this gift, right, from someone, a meaningful gift, and you put it on your door, or you put it on your desk, or you put it someplace close by. And when you're not having that great of a day, you go back to that thing and you hold it, right? Like a bottle of water. You hold that thing and you look at it, and it literally mentally transports you back to that place, that time when you had that thing first, or when you were given that thing first, and the feeling and the emotion that you had around it, right? This is why it's important to have and identify inspiration. This is why it's important to identify inspiration. If you have never taken on the process or taken on the exercise of identifying your inspiration, here's what I want you to do today. I want you just to literally grab a sheet of paper, and I want you to put a line down the middle. On side 1, I want you to put inspiration, and side 2, I want you to put why. So on side 1, I just want you to write down what is one thing. Write 5. Let's see if you can get to 5. What are some things that inspire you? So I've given you 5. I've given you my family. I've given you other people's wins. I've given you books. I've given you new technology. I've given you great weather. But then after that, I want you to do 2 things. On the side where you write why, I want you to write down why that thing inspires you. And I want you to write down how you feel or how you felt when you first encountered that thing, or just any good feeling that you've had when you encounter that thing, right? This is it's an exciting exercise, and it really helps you to be intentional about your feelings and the emotions that you go through daily, and recognize that, yeah, there are things that happen in this world, but you do really have some say. You do really have some choice in how you respond and how you operate and how you feel every day. Your feelings are not just given to you. You can literally direct those feelings, right? And so that's how we win. That's how we win. We win by recognizing that we have choice. We win by recognizing that our space, the way that we perceive our world, the way that we interact and operate in our world, is primarily driven by the choices that we make. Right? So when you recognize that, man, that's such a game changer. It's such a game changer. And my goal for each of you, my desire for each of you that are on this and just kind of hanging out and listening to me on this Friday afternoon, my desire is that you win. My desire is that you recognize that you have choice, that you have some say. You have a say. You have the majority of the say in how your world operates every day. All right, because you're great. All right, so listen, Rod says, my kid's success makes me feel proud, and they got and gained more. Yeah, exactly. Love that, Rod. All right, so let me get off of here. I'm going to be shutting down. I'm shutting down at 4 p.m., folks. You've got to do that as well. You want to get connected even further. You want to hear a little bit more about the techniques and the technologies of storytelling. Join me in the Storytellers Growth Lab over on Facebook. For those of you that are on LinkedIn, just reach out, go to storytellersgrowthlab.com, and we can get connected there. If you're interested in learning more about leadership and communication, you would like me or my organization to come in to do training on how to be vibrant on video, how to be a vibrant virtual presenter, how to be a confident communicator. Connect with us over at kineticcommunications.com. That's KENN. Let me see if I have here we go. I think I do have one of these thingy bobs for it, right? So let me just put that website on screen. Yeah, just connect with us at kineticcommunications.com, and we can chat about coming to your organization to do workshops in those topics. All right, that's all I've got. That's all I got. Friday. Listen, it's an amazing day. Make sure that the rest of your weekend is awesome and amazing. because you choose it to be. I'll see ya. Be inspired.